Welcome to Jets Game Day presented by Audi. Here's your host, Eric Allen.
Welcome to Jets Game Day. Eric Allen alongside the Killer Bees, Bart Scott and Brian Baldinger. The Jets will face the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend. I think this is an opportunity for the Jets. We saw the offense take some positive steps last weekend in Miami, Bart, and the defense is going to be facing a backup quarterback in Mac Jones.
Yeah, and they have to play like they're facing a backup quarterback. I think, the defense, has to learn how to finish. And I want to watch all three phases, just play a complete game.
So far this season, the Jets have lost 7 games by 6 points or less.
They can't finish. I mean, they got to finish. And that involves all three phases. This is a team that they're playing right now. I mean, they're frustrated. They're just going to make all kinds of changes in Jacksonville, too. But I think this is the game, like, they got the explosive plays last week. Every explosive play led to a score. They scored 5 straight possessions. Like, add those explosive plays against a poor defense right now.
Let's get into the film right now presented by Moody's and talk about some electrifying young receivers, starting with Garrett Wilson, Baldy.
Well, look, on this play right here, here's Devontae Adams. He's going to run this here, and he's going to get doubled right there. So Aaron sees it. He wants to look right there. They've got that double. But here's Garrett Wilson on the other side. Now, in order to get to the other side, you need protection. The protection is good where he can slide now. He can see the opening, and now he gets the ball down to Garrett Wilson on the outside right there for a first down.
Fashanu is amazing to watch. You talk about a dancing bear and staying connected. As a young player, sometimes you push the defender away from you with your punch. He's able to absorb and re-engage, and I mean that is a set. I'm so impressed. I can just spend a whole game just watching him play.
Garrett Wilson is one of 7 receivers in NFL history to have 80 receptions in each of his first 3 seasons there, Baldy.
You watch this play right here. This is a nasty, filthy move on the outside. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's a big corner that can run, right? He's had a lot of success in this league. But you watch this right here, like he's got Jalen Ramsey like literally stumbling right now. And it goes right by him right here. And Aaron gets outside the pocket. I mean, 42 yards later, that sets up the next score for them.
And if that ball is inside,
yes,
that's a house call. But you talk about the suddenness of Garrett Wilson. That's the beauty of it. He's probably the quickest player I've ever been around on the football field since Antonio Holmes.
The key to being a great router, and Garrett is can you change direction without losing speed?
Yes.
Like he didn't lose any speed on that little out and up move of his on Jalen Ramsey.
And he dropped the hips like he was coming back to the football.
Yeah. That's what Jalen was reacting to.
It's the transition. Like he drops his hips. It's so subtle, but I'm telling you, not since Antonio Holmes have I seen somebody, maybe Antonio Brown as well. He has that type of short area quickness.
Let's flip into the Jaguars. Brian Thomas Jr., he's a rookie, a big play dude. 54 receptions so far this season, 851 receiving yards, and he gets into the end zone. He's got 6 touchdowns.
He does, and he's a big play guy. Here he is right here. This is a speedo route combination right here where they're going to run this post corner, and they're going to run this trail behind it. All right, so it's against a cover 3 look right here, and it's off max protection and bootleg, and Brian Thomas can track the ball. I don't care how deep down the field it is, or it's a crossing route. Like, he can separate from any defender right now.
I tell you what, that's a lonely feeling, too, because that turns into a cell route where you basically have 3 receivers on the same levels, but it eats up the safety. So you're by yourself. You're running and chasing, and nobody coming to help.
Good job, gentlemen, breaking down the receivers, but coming up, we're going to go inside the trenches because rookie Olu Fashanu is going under our Jet Spotlight.
This film breakdown is brought to you by Moody's, proud partner of the New York Jets. Welcome back to Jets Game Day, presented by Audi.
All right, let's go. Come on. Let's go, baby. And let's rock out, bro. Something special about to happen right here, bro. All right? You did great last week. Now let's take another step.
Yeah.
It's bookings, bro. We in Florida in some good weather, boys. So let's feel good about this. Go bust some today, baby.
Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Play clock at 4. Takes the snap, drops back, runs over the middle. In stride, he's got Garrett Wilson. Breaking left at the 40, at the Dolphin 30, inside the 20-yard line, all the way down to the red zone. Before he's down by Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Come on! Okay, Olu, so earlier in the week, you celebrate what, your 22nd birthday?
Yes, sir.
How did you celebrate?
I mean, I don't really do too much, you know, just a lot of relaxing, just looked at the game film from the other day and then just went out to dinner, so.
And low-key dinner, or like you made it a nice dinner in the city and went out to a restaurant there?
Nah, not during the season. I try to stay out of the city during the season, but it's just a nice little spot in Madison, nice little Chinese place. So.
Is it crazy for you to think that you're 22 years old and you're playing left tackle for the New York Jets protecting Aaron Rodgers? Like, has that sunk in at all?
I'll be honest, I try not to think about it like that because, you know, when I think about it like that, then I'm like, oh, like, this is crazy. But, I mean, now that you said it, yeah, it is a bit crazy. It is a bit crazy thinking about it, but, you know, it's all part of the experience.
To play with guys like Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith, what is the singular most important thing you've learned from each of those guys?
Yeah, definitely just the way that they prepare. You know, it's a lot different than how I prepared in college. Really having those two guys in the room, really, you know, having the opportunity to ask them questions, ask them tips and all that, it's been everything for me.
Obviously, you're a competitor. Everyone wants to play early. But was it kind of like a blessing in disguise being able to take a back seat for the beginning of the season and just watch from afar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, I'm extremely competitive. I feel like every rookie, nonetheless a rookie picked in the first round, has that expectation that they're going to come in and start. But I think I was in a really unique situation where I come in and there's already two bookend tackles in the room. And for me, you know, I just understood that it was all about taking advantage of that type of experience.
That Cardinals game, you get in at left tackle after playing guard and right tackle, neither of which you played at Penn State. But you know, I remember you talking about after that game, like you didn't seem happy with the way you played. And you said, like, that's not really like who I am as a player. What was your week of preparation like, knowing that the game after that, like, you're probably gonna play for Tyron? Were you even more determined to prove to yourself and everyone else, like, why you were drafted 11th overall?
Going into that week, I knew I was gonna be the starter at left tackle, so it was really just taking advantage of those reps, specifically at left tackle, just because throughout the year, you know, taking reps all over the place. So having the opportunity to just, you know, stick to that one position and really gain those reps at that one position, get myself comfortable, you know, playing from that side of the line, I think that really, you know, really helped on.
And what's the biggest growth you've seen when you watch your tape from the Arizona game, even to the Dolphins game last week?
Yeah, definitely just confidence. Just going out there, knowing that, you know, the guy right next to me, John Simpson, you know, he's always going to have my back no matter what. And when you have that feeling, it really lets you have that notion where you can go out and just play free.
I think you'd be even the one to say, like, you're rather reserved. You're not going to be the rah-rah guy, but what flips for you on game day to have that killer instinct?
Yeah, I think for me, it's all about focus. You know, there's some guys on the team that, you know, really play off of, you know, aggression and anger and all that. But if I'm being transparent, that's not me. I'm more of a focus, more like cerebral, just knowing that, all right, I'm dialed in. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it at 110%.
So you're not a trash talker?
When need be, you know, when I'm backing up the guys, got to. Can't just let anyone talk to my guys like that.
I want to end with this. What's something that surprised you about Tyron and Morgan Moses specifically? Either just something you didn't know, because I imagine you saw Tyron on tape plenty of times, but maybe spending time with him, whether it's on the field, off the field, whatever it is, was there something that surprised you about each of those guys?
This might sound like a bit obvious, but really just the amount of work that they put in. And, you know, it's something that, you know, as a rookie, like I really benefited from seeing. And I know, obviously, they're both bookend tackles, you know, great tackles with great careers. But, you know, for me to see from, you know, a firsthand point of view how much work they actually put into their craft, it really just, you know, laid out the foundation for me and what I need to do to get to that level.
Awesome, Olu, appreciate the time and happy belated birthday.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it, thank you.
This exclusive interview was presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information.
Let's go inside the matchup right now. Rookie Isaiah Davis, 10 carries against the Miami Dolphins for 40 yards. He got his first receiving touchdown against the Seattle Seahawks. He comes back and he gets his first pro rush touchdown.
It was impressive, too. And they did a good job up front. You know, you look at this double team right here between Simpson and Tippmann, and then Simpson's going to come off over here to Jordan Brooks, the linebacker. And really, I thought Isaiah Davis read it perfectly right here. He's seen a cut right here, and then on the backside, Ali Vera Tucker and Morgan Moses. Backside blocks, important as front side blocks. And he reads it now. He picks up a block from Lazard right there, and he finishes in the paint. 17-yard rushing touchdown. I mean, when you can run the ball in the red zone, run it every time if you can.
I thought a big part of that was Lazard coming back and participating in the run game because he's a dynamic blocker. And it was a great read, being patient. You know, sometimes young running backs are too fast to the hole. You need patience to the hole, acceleration through the hole, and that's exactly what Isaiah Davis did in that play.
Gentlemen, both of these rookie backs can run it and they can catch it.
Yep.
Last week against the Miami Dolphins, Braylon Allen, 4 catches for 38 yards.
Yeah, and if you watch this play right here, I mean, this is a classic case where you're running him through the line right here. It's not going to be Aaron's first read, but he knows it's there. And so he might look other places, but he knows he's got a safety valve in Braylon Allen right here. So Aaron's going to throw it right here underneath and let him turn up and use his ability in the open field, all right, to break a tackle and pick up the first down.
When you got a back that big, if you have your head on the wrong side, you're going to miss that tackle 100% of the time. You're not arm tackling Braylon Allen.
This will be a good test for the Jets' offensive line, and you know when you're playing against the Jaguars, that means Josh Hines Allen. He's got 7 sacks again this year.
Yeah, you know, look, he's straight out of Montclair, New Jersey. And so if you look at him, here he is. He's in a wide 9, right? So the ball's on one hash, his hand's on the other hash. He's going against a rookie in J.C. Latham right here. And look, that was a little cross chop right here, just to get that hip through, to get right to Will Levis. And that's what he does right here. But he's got a variety of moves to beat you off the edge now. He's a very experienced player that I think is only getting better.
First person I've ever seen that do that on a consistent basis was Sean Ellis, and he didn't do too bad in his career.
Baldy, Trayvon Walker is experiencing a pro breakthrough this season. He's got 8.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss.
Well, he does it a lot of different ways. Like right here, they're going to run this twist stunt right here, okay? So he's going to come inside right now, and Houston's going to slide to him, but he's not going to stay in front of him. And if you try to escape like CJ does, he's going to get to you because he's got great speed, he's got tremendous power. Anybody that plays against him, they're going to tell you, that's a strong dude right there.
Coming up, we're going to find out what the Jets are saying about their upcoming matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Injuries have started to pile up for the Jets. Heading into Sunday's game, the Jets could be without running back Breece Hall for a second straight game as he recovers from his knee injury.
He's a guy that's just proven to be such an amazing teammate this year, and his commitment to this game has gone to another place. His process has gone to another place, and he's been playing with a little bit of pain and fighting his way through that. But it's a thing that's just maybe it's not improving as much as he'd like at this point. So we'll see how it goes this week.
If Hall can't play, it will be the second week in a row the Jets lean on their rookie duo of Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen in the backfield. Last week against Miami, they combined for 148 yards from scrimmage and 1 touchdown.
Just a lot of fun to be out there with Isaiah, you know, kind of sharing the load a little bit in those carries, and you know, hopefully Breece is healthy, but you know, hopefully I can kind of stay in that mix and stay in that groove.
After missing last week's matchup against Miami due to a hamstring injury, cornerback Sauce Gardner is ready to go against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It was just a thing that the trainers felt was best for me, you know, but it definitely wasn't like a severe issue. That's why I'm already back this week.
The biggest injury news came on special teams as the Jets placed their special teams ace, Irvin Charles, on injured reserve. He tore his ACL in the beginning of the fourth quarter against the Dolphins.
In a very, tough, challenging year in a lot of ways, an absolute bright spot for this team. I really believe had he finished the season playing the way he was playing, he would have been a shoo-in for Pro Bowl as far as the special team players concerned, the core players. So he took amazing jumps and leaps and bounds as far as his contribution for us. And I thought it was amazing the way that you felt the sideline too with an injury like that. You just felt the love and regard this team has for him, and what he's meant to this team. As they were shook when he got hurt.
Despite the injuries in all 3 phases of the game, the Jets are looking to close out their season strong with 4 weeks remaining.
I always try to be an example. I'm saying, you could say eliminated from the playoffs, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to display no type of quit. It's a blessing to be able to play this game. It's always been my dream. So, like I said, I want to be a part of something special. I want to be a part of changing the culture around here. We all don't like losing, and we all understand that, we got brought here for a reason, and, we just got to do whatever it takes to win.
Let's get into our great debate presented by HCL Tech. The Jets have a lot of young talent on this team. But gentlemen, who is the most important foundational piece?
I'm gonna go with the lineman. I'm gonna go with Olu Fashanu because you talk about the position, the importance of the position. I think it's the biggest position when you talk about being a plus multiplier. Him doing his job at a high level helps the run game, passing game, helps the quarterback. I think he affects the game more than any other position. And the fact that the longevity, if you have a lockdown foundational piece at left tackle, that's good for about 15 years. Other positions can't make that same claim.
Bart has a big crush on the Jets.
Yeah,
First round pick for Penn State.
he's finally learning the game, okay? He's finally, after all these years. But I'm going to go in the trenches also. I'm going to just say Quinnen.
Yeah.
Like, Quinnen is, I don't care what all-pro players in front of him. He's going to beat one-on-ones, run and pass. You got to double-team that guy. Like, he's still winning his one-on-ones. He's still affecting the game. It's the great quarterbacks in the league. They can escape edge pressure. They can't escape guys coming right at him up the middle. So I'll just say Quinnen is still playing at a very high level. He's under contract. He's going to be here for a while. I'll say build around Quinnen.
But how about some honorable mentions? Let's go outside. Either offense, defense. You can go Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think you can go, both of those players playing at a high level as well. You talk about two All-Pros for Sauce in his first 2 years. Garrett, you just mentioned his accolades, over 80 receptions in his first 3 years. That hasn't been done by an elite few. And just think, when it all comes together, I think he's going to be one of the best receivers to come out of that draft class. Definitely top 5 in this league in short order.
Yeah, do you like that dynamic right now that we've seen developing down the stretch with Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams?
No question. No question. I mean, they're 1A and 1B. I mean, you got to figure out, like last week, they tried to double Davante and they went to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's beating an elite corner out there one-on-one. They both can win their one-on-ones because you can't be an elite receiver in this league if you're not beating good corners. And both of them can beat good corners.
That was our great debate, but don't go anywhere because coming up, we're going to have our game day predictions.
This was presented by the official digital transformation partner of the New York Jets, HCL Tech, supercharging progress. Get 100% verified tickets to every upcoming game at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Jets and the NFL.
Welcome back to Jets Game Day. Eric Allen with Bart Scott and Brian Baldwin. Let's get into our game predictions right now, presented by the New York Lottery. Garrett Wilson, who we talked a lot about during this show, will reach 1,000 yards for the season Sunday. He is 877.
Yeah, I think so. I think he eats because these corners from Jacksonville can't stand up to the craftiness. And no matter what, I think the person that's going to draw the double team the majority of the time is going to be Davante Adams out of reputation and just skill set, which is going to allow Garrett to be able to eat again this week.
Aaron Rodgers so far this season, Baldy, has 20 touchdown passes. He will reach 30. That means 10 over the final 4 games.
I think he could probably get 2 or 3 this week, so he might be on pace. Like, I think this is a defense that, first of all, they're not very talented, but they break down so often. Like, they just completely turn people loose. And you can watch any game to see it. And so I feel like there's going to be some breakdowns. I think Aaron gets off to a start to get 10 in the final 4 weeks of the season.
The Jets and the Jaguars, Baldy, will total under 41 points.
I think it's going to be over 41 because I think the Jets are going to put up a big number. I mean, they're due to score 30. The Jaguars, I think just because they've got a guy like Brian Thomas Jr., they've got Tank Bigsby, and they got some explosive players on offense. I think this thing goes over 41.
Final thoughts, gentlemen. I'm looking at this matchup, and I see the Jets offense taking steps. And I see the defense having an opportunity against a backup quarterback in Mac Jones.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to get that good feeling back in the locker room and finish and be on the right side of the win column.
Never too late to get wins. I don't care what your record is. Like, just get on a plane after a win. I mean, it just, everything feels better after a win. And it's been a long time since they got on an airplane and came back home playing cards, shooting the breeze, having fun with each other. Like, that feeling is what you always remember about playing this game. They're due for that feeling.
Aaron Rodgers last week passed for 300 yards for the first time in 35 starts. I think he might make it back-to-back. We'll have to see what happens Sunday in Duval. For Bart Scott and Brian Baldwin, we're signing off.